So when I tell you what I'm about to tell you, this isn't something that I just read in a book. This is something that I actually experienced firsthand. This advice has been applied numerous times over the course of my career. And so I want to provide this information in order to help you close more deals. Before I ever did any marketing, touched a website, touched a campaign, managed a strategy of any kind, I actually started on the phones, doing cold call sales. And over this time, I had the opportunity to be able to listen to so many calls to try to understand how people were responding to sales. How could this person close better? What could this person do differently? Here it is. Most businesses claim that they have a lead problem, when in reality what they have is they have a sales problem. They can't see this sales problem, or they're refusing to do so because it can be challenging sometimes. Nobody in the building wants to listen to all the calls. We did a video on this before. We were talking a little bit more about the lead versus sales problem and how it ties to your business. If you haven't watched that yet, go back and check it out. And today I want to go a level deeper. Not just how to sell, but how to make sure that your selling actually works. A sales process that you can actually see, measure, and fix. That's going to take your business to the next level. More leads is usually the wrong call. Don't get me wrong, leads are important. We talk about it with our clients all the time. We understand that you need at-bats in order to hit the ball. When jobs are down, the first thing out of everybody's mouth is we need more leads. And I get it, it feels productive. You call the marketing company, you get to ask them, get me more leads, or you get to push them in order to try to accomplish the goal that you have set forth. But the sales side requires you to look inward. It requires you to think about what's happening after the leads get to you. And that requires a certain level of accountability, and it requires a level of understanding sales in the first place. Because when you reach out to the marketing company and you say, we need more leads, it makes you feel like you did something about it. But let me walk you through what you actually just did. If you're only closing 30% of the leads that are coming to you, and you go in and you say, hey, we need more leads, and you start getting more leads, but you're only closing 30%, you're missing 70% of the opportunity that's on the table. So rather than thinking about, hey, can I get more leads and continue to have this low closing percentage, think about how you can improve the closing percentage in order to maximize the leads that are already there. In many cases, when you're asking to get more leads, it could mean spending more money to do so. What you actually just bought is you got more leads. Now, what do you really do with them? You didn't fix the leak. There was a leak there that you didn't know about while you're asking to get more leads. You should always try to make sure that you're focusing on the leak first. Because if you just run more water into a leaky sink, then you're just going to have a bigger puddle on the floor. And you're paying extra for the water. So before you spend any more money trying to turn up the volume, you need to know one number. In the last 10 opportunities that you had, how many of those actually closed? If that number's ugly, then more leads is the single most expensive way to grow there is. Fix the closes first. It costs you basically nothing, and it makes it so that every lead that you're getting is now worth more. A process beats personality. Most home service-based companies don't have an actual sales process. They've got a sales personality. You know exactly who I mean, that one guy. The tech or comfort advisor that just closes for some reason. He runs the call, the job books. When everybody else runs it, it's a coin flip. That's not a process, that's just a person. And when it relies on one person, that person can have a bad day, they can call into work, they can quit, and then you're stuck with every single lead being a coin flip. That's a bad position to be in. A process is a completely different animal. Same steps, same order, same outcome every time. Think about a pilot running through an entire checklist before takeoff. That's more of a process rather than just a script. So you want to have that checklist ready to go for anybody that's ever going to take that call. That's what's going to put you in a position to actually close more deals. When you've got a real process, you can teach it. You can hold your people to it. And here's the one that matters the most. You can truly measure it. So what does the process actually look like? Well, let's keep it simple. 4 stages every time. We went deep on this the last time, so here's the short version. 1, diagnose. Before you say one word about price, equipment, or any sort of cost, make sure you start by asking questions, because you truly need to understand the problem in order to make the proper recommendation. When somebody calls us, the first thing that we go into is actually asking the proper questions to understand the challenges, the goals, what they're currently facing in order to provide the proper recommendation. It doesn't make any sense to immediately start quoting prices and immediately going into all the services that you can provide, because what's actually the problem? How long's this been going on? It's a great question to ask. What have you noticed? Has anybody else looked at it before? Have you ever had another company out here to fix this problem? Those are all good questions. The second thing, educate. Education is so powerful in sales. You repeat what is wrong back to the customer. So when you go through that initial process and you're asking questions, make sure you repeat it back to them. You explain what they said the problem was and why it matters. That confirms that you were listening, and it confirms that you truly understand what the problem is and how to provide a solution. Don't immediately just go into the solution. A great example would be your compressor's shot. That, in going into it too quickly, could really send off some red flags to that customer. Instead, you could be thinking about things like, what does that do to their power bill, their comfort, or their odds of sweating it out with no AC running? It's the middle of July and their AC unit's not working. That's a great opportunity for you to tap into the actual discomfort that they're currently experiencing and how you're gonna solve that for them so that they don't have to continue to feel that pain. The third thing is gonna be options. Make sure you come to the table with some options. You lay out different ways to fix it, different solutions. There's the Band-Aid and the real fix. One of them is gonna make sure that their air conditioner is working that afternoon, but it might not be the long-term solution. One of them will do both. It'll provide that comfort they were looking for while making sure that next summer they're experiencing that same level of comfort. This puts them in the driver's seat and gives them a real choice rather than only one solution. You don't want to put people in a take it or leave it kind of situation. You want to get them involved, get them collaborating with you. The best type of sales is usually just convincing somebody of the solution that is going to put them in the best position to help themselves. When they can actually tell you what it is they want rather than you having to tell that to them, that is always a good sale. When you don't even have to say, hey, this is what you have to do. You give them the options and they say, I'll take this option. That is the best long-term customer relationship that you can create for your business. The fourth thing is just ask. Ask them what it is that they want. Then they can provide you that solution based on the options that you gave them. A great example would be, which of these options make the most sense for you? And I'm telling you, I've listened to so many calls where they did the first 3 stages and skipped the 4th and just fell flat on their face. The 4 different stages are all important. You can't just do 1, you can't just do 2, and you can't just do 3. You need to make sure that you follow all 4. The guy actually never asks you for the sale, and that's why they didn't get the sale in the first place. They skipped the 4th stage. So always make sure that you ask them which solution they want and close the deal. That's the whole thing. Diagnose, educate, options, and ask. Every call, every tech, every single time. Record the calls. You can't do it if you're not recording all the calls. So if you're somebody that's really adamant about that one phone number that you have for your business and that phone number isn't being recorded, I just think you should probably take a step back for a second. There are so many reasons why you should record calls, but today we're talking about the sales side and why this is important. By recording the calls, you actually have a tangible way to be able to listen in and hear whether or not they're following the process that you put in place. This means all the calls that are coming to the phone, and also if you can record the actual conversations that are being had when they go to the appointment in person, those are going to be so valuable for your business. So make sure you look into the different ways that you can incorporate this into your business. If you can combine the phone calls, the initial leads, and the actual appointments into a true sales process, something that can be recorded, something that you can actually measure, and something that you can coach to, you're going to close more deals. Right now, if I asked you why your last 5 deals didn't close, you might not have an answer for me. You'd probably be guessing. You'd probably be saying like, well, they just weren't good leads or something like that, rather than actually understanding how those conversations went. It's the exact same reason every serious team watches the film after the game. You don't just get better by playing more games. You get better by watching the tape. I got better by watching the tape, and so will your crew. Run every call you listen to against those 4 stages that I went over with you. Did they diagnose? Was the diagnosis weak, or did they just start pitching? 9 times out of 10, the deal you just lost skipped straight to the price. Did they explain the impact, or did they just name the problem? You need a new unit, loses every time. Did they give options? If they didn't give option and they just dropped some scary number out there, it probably didn't close. And last but not least, did they actually ask for the sale? A lot of the time, you're gonna listen to the call and you're gonna hear them leave it at, well, that's the quote. Let me know. Or, I'll call you back in a week. And when you go through this process, you're gonna hear the same leak over and over. And that's good news, truthfully. It might not sound like it, but if you're hearing the same leak happen over and over, that's actually a good problem to have. Because if that leak shows up over and over, that's the same leak that is leading to you losing more deals. That's what's keeping that sales ratio down that I talked about. Instead of 30%, if you can fix that leak, it could turn to 50%. And now you can hear it, and now you can fix it. You're gonna start listening to calls, and you're gonna hear 10 things you wanna fix all at once. Don't do that. Tap the brakes a little bit. Fix one leak at a time. Work on that one thing for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, just give that all your focus. Listen for it, coach it, and make a big deal out of it when somebody nails it. And after you've gone through that process, now pick the next one. This right here is how a real sales process gets built, one thing at a time. Fixing your close rate is growing with what you already have. And instead of leaving money on the table, you're taking more money home. This week, go back, make sure you're recording your calls, your inbound phone calls at the bare minimum. And at the end of the week, pull 5 of them, just 5 to start. Sit down, run each of those against the 4 stages. Diagnose, educate, options, and ask. Put a check mark next to each of those stages that they actually go through, one by one. When you're done with that, you'll see it. You either have a column full of X's, or you have a column that's completely blank, or you have a spotty column. But in that process, what you're doing is you're finding the leaks. And for whatever it's worth, this is exactly the type of thing that we get into with the business owners that we're working with. We don't just send you leads and wish you luck. We help you make sure that you actually have a process that helps you close more deals. Because sending you more leads that don't actually close doesn't do either of us any good. If you want a second set of eyes on where your deals are leaking, you can reach out to us anytime. But before you do any of that, do the homework. Go listen to your calls, fix the leaks, and close more deals. If this was helpful, please hit the subscribe button below and stay tuned for more.